Let's talk about the law, but maybe not in the way you're used to. Forget all those dense textbooks and dusty legal jargon. Today, we're diving into something else entirely, the art of the verdict.
You know, this quote really gets to the heart of what we're about. Most of us, when we think of the law, we picture this fortress, right? Walls of dry, impossible to understand jargon. But what if we looked at it differently? What if we saw it as a library full of incredible literature? Because that's what it can be. Behind all those complex statutes are real, profound human stories. And judges? They don't just hand down rulings. Sometimes they use the power of the pen to create something truly literary.
And that is exactly what we're here to do. Welcome to Lay's Law. And just so you know, it's pronounced Lay's Law, L-A-Y, for the lay person. Our mission is pretty simple, really. We want to unlock all that hidden wisdom from the courtroom and make it accessible to, well, to everyone. So what we've done is create this global collection of these really powerful moments in legal history. We actually use AI to sift through centuries of judicial opinions from all over the world, and we're looking for those little excerpts, those gems that just resonate with literary power and human depth. And then we translate all that incredible legal eloquence into insights that are clear and visual and that you can actually connect with.
Okay, so you might be wondering, how do we actually do this? Well, it's a four-step process. First, we get our hands on court judgments from all over the globe. Then our AI gets to work, helping us find what we like to call the literary nugget, that one beautiful, insightful bit. After that, we boil it all down and translate the core legal principle into a simple lesson, and finally, we visualize the whole theme to make it really stick. It's this awesome journey, really, from super complex legal text to clear human understanding. All right, with that out of the way, are you ready? Let's kick off our inaugural global tour. Our first stop, our first exhibit, takes us all the way to the United Kingdom for a case that is, and I'm not exaggerating, about the very soul of a village.
The human conflict at the center of this is it's so simple but so deep. Get this, you've got a village cricket club. They've been playing on the same field for 70 years. Then a new homeowner moves into a house built right on the edge of the field, and sues them. I mean, this isn't just about a few stray cricket balls. It's a real battle between a cherished community tradition and an individual's right to peace and quiet.
And this is where it gets really good. The judge, a guy named Lord Denning, does something absolutely remarkable. He doesn't start with some dry legal precedent. No, he starts by telling a story. He paints this beautiful, vivid picture of English village life. And then he drops this incredible line. The animals did not mind the cricket. Wow. Which is that one simple phrase. He completely reframes the whole thing. It's not about noise anymore. It's about an intrusion on the soul of a community.
So how did it all turn out? What was the verdict? Well, the court did award the homeowners some money for the inconvenience, but, and this is the key part, they refused to stop the cricket game. So the big takeaway, the lesson for us, is that sometimes the public interest, in this case, preserving the social fabric of the village, should prevail over a single person's private interest.
Okay, let's pack our bags and head to our next exhibit. We're hopping across the Atlantic now, all the way to the United States back in 1928. In this case, this one would completely redefine the ethics of what it means to be a partner.
I want you to imagine this for a second. You and a business partner, you've been managing a hotel together for 20 years. Your lease is just about to expire, and then you find out he's gone behind your back and secretly negotiated a huge new deal for the property, cutting you out completely. His excuse? Hey, our deal was over. So the court was faced with this massive question. Where does a business obligation end, and where does a moral one begin?
And the answer the court came up with? It's just magnificent. Justice Benjamin Cardozo delivered what has become one of the most famous lines in all of commercial law. He basically said that for partners, the standard of behavior has to be higher than the usual rough and tumble of the marketplace. It isn't just about being honest. It's about, and I love this phrase, the punctilio of an honor the most sensitive. A punctilio, it's like the finest, most delicate point of conduct. The language is just incredible, isn't it?
So the lesson for us, the lay lesson, is incredibly powerful. When you're in a partnership, trust isn't temporary. It's basically a permanent contract. The loyalty you owe each other is so much more delicate, so much more demanding than what you'd expect from a stranger in a normal business deal. And yeah, in the end, the partner who tried to cut the other one out, he was forced to share the new opportunity.
All right, our tour continues, and this time we're heading to India. And this next exhibit, well, it gets to the absolute heart of what we're trying to do here at Lay's Law, because this case is all about the language of the law itself.
Believe it or not, the entire conflict came down to one simple word: purchase. The government, in a tax case, was pushing for this super complex, technical, legalistic definition. But the citizen? He was arguing for the simple, common sense meaning that you and I use every day. So it became the showdown, a real fight for clarity against totally needless legal complexity.
And just listen to this powerful ruling from Justice V.R. Krishna Iyer. He says the speech of the lay is also the language of the law. He goes right after what he calls lexical legalism, this tendency to just mutilate the meaning of simple words. I mean, come on. That line right there, that brilliantly sums up the entire philosophy behind this project, behind Lay's Law.
The takeaway here is so fundamental. Clarity isn't just a nice to have, it's a virtue. The law simply cannot be allowed to hide behind a veil of jargon. At the end of the day, justice has to speak a language that the people it affects can actually understand. Okay, for our final exhibit on this tour, we're traveling to Australia for a truly landmark case from 1992. And this one forced an entire nation to confront a massive historical injustice.
So for 2 centuries, Australian law was built on this legal fiction called terra nullius. It literally means nobody's land. And what this doctrine did, effectively, was erase the very existence and ownership of indigenous peoples before the British arrived. It was as if they were never there. Then, a Torres Strait Islander man named Teddy Mabo challenged this entire foundation. He forced the highest court in the land to make a choice: stick with a convenient fiction or face a difficult truth.
And the court's ruling was nothing short of a turning point. It declared that this fiction, terra nullius, had absolutely no place in modern law. And they said so powerfully that the law can't be frozen in an age of racial discrimination. This is just such a profound example of the law's ability to look in the mirror, to admit it was wrong, and to evolve.
So the lay lesson from this one, it's monumental. It shows that the law can't hide behind historical injustices forever. It has to evolve, it has to keep up with society's conscience, and ultimately what it proves is that truth is the only title deed that really truly lasts.
So, wow, we've been all around the world, haven't we? From a quiet village green to the history of an entire continent. So what's the big picture here? What have we actually seen? What's the thread that connects all these seemingly random stories?
There's a really powerful common thread that ties all of this together. In every single case, a judge pushed past the dry technical rules to find a more human voice. Think about it. On that English village green, they chose community over a private complaint. In that New York business deal, they chose honor over just being honest. In the Indian tax case, they chose clarity over complexity. And in Australia, they chose a hard truth over a convenient historical fiction.
At the end of the day, what all these verdicts prove is that the language of justice can be every bit as beautiful as it is binding. And look, this is just our first collection. Because the art of the verdict, well, that's a story that never truly ends.